Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Mike. That is very informational and very impressive. To Paula's point, I like the idea of celebrating every 2 months. I think I can come up with, a lot of ideas for that. Good afternoon, all. I am Hedilyn. I'm from Orlando Utilities Commission. We have kind of a smaller footprint than compared to Fiserv in terms of our asset implementations. But of course, we are equally liable for providing operational effectiveness and minimizing risk in the asset management arena. Just to give you a brief overview about Orlando Utilities, we are providing residential and commercial water, electric, street lighting, chilled water services. We are located in downtown Orlando, so come visit us. It's just a few exits away from I-4. We're owned by the citizens of Orlando, and we service about 250,000 customers between Orlando and St. Cloud, as well as parts of Osceola and Orange counties. We have about 1,200 employees and about 844 million in revenues. Our footprint in terms of the solution, we are very much centralized in a red stack. What I mean by that is a lot of the enablers in terms of supporting our business are Oracle product. And particularly in the technology stack, we use Oracle Application Solver, databases, the user productivity kit, the portal, as well as Oracle Internet Directory. In terms of what embraces our asset management, our enterprise asset management, it's part of the ERP umbrella. We ran the full suite in OUC, so we ran the financials, we ran the inventory management, as well as human capital, and most particularly, of course, the asset maintenance management programs. This makes it very integrated in terms of, from the asset down to our GL. So we're supporting that through GD Edwards Enterprise 1.8.12. We are currently upgrading to that version, to the newest version, 9.1, which is HTML5 compatible, similar driver probably for Fiserv in terms of going mobile, more of the social networking technology and ability to be able to be more hands-free in terms of our operations, not only in the plant as well as our fleet and facilities. What are the business drivers in terms of leading us to operational effectiveness and minimizing risk? Of course, like everybody else, we would want to reduce errors in as much as possible in terms of accuracy in our inventory and costing. We also want to be able to provide visibility of our information. We want to make sure that it's all centralized and accessible to the business units area that will be utilizing them so that they can be performing informed decisions and executing whatever needs to be done in a most effective and informed manner. Of course, we also are very, we're kind of small, so we are very lean in terms of our operations, so we want to be able to effectively minimize and streamline the back-end needs for the operations. Our approach primarily, as I've indicated, is a more hands-free, making sure that whatever system that we will bring, external or internal, integrates into our capital asset management system. And we try to capitalize on the Oracle Enterprise One because of its integrated nature to be able to handle our asset from inception down from preventative maintenance and the different aspects of the life cycle of the asset. We enable a lot of things within that solution to enable us to be able to find information, key data effectively and efficiently. Like everybody else, we also have our own share of challenges along the way. Particularly, we have the need for standardization and more on process agreement among the different business units that use it. In OUC, we have our fleet facilities, our power plants, our electric and water distribution groups, as well as our street lighting groups, all using the same, with different processes and different shapes of products and different shapes of preventative maintenance that they have to do. So in order for us to be able to facilitate that in a more progressive manner, we make sure that we bring standardization in terms of those umbrella, and that can be quite a challenge, having different flavors of concentrations on those different groups. Another challenge is the balancing of the performance, the risk, and the reliability to make sure that we have the return on our equipment. Like everybody else here, we're all challenged to make sure that we contain our assets and that we perform efficient and effective maintenance of them. But at the same time, there are risks involved in the ever-growing transformation and adapting to make sure that we're always, tuned and always executing our maintenance appropriately. What we find is, as we find and mature in these roles and streamline our business processes, is when we engage over new technologies to assist us in this manner. The real challenge is really more the people side, the change management side, and a lot of the culture. We have implemented our ERP system, which has the EAM umbrella way back in '99, when things are typically maintenance is done and executed through a piece of paper, putting a list on it. So there's a lot of cultural and people challenges in making them adaptable to a computerized system. More now, in our venture to move them more to a mobile, to the use of the iPad and all that. Two main branches that we're going to be discussing today. I'll be discussing more our fleet, and Fred will be discussing more the power plant umbrella of OUC. In our fleet division, we have about 775 vehicles that probably have logged more than 4.7 million miles. You would think, why is this important to our business and in mitigating risk and operational efficiencies? A lot of our work is conducted by repairing poles. If there's a hurricane, repairing our transmission lines and things like that. If our fleet, the bucket trucks and all that are not up to par in terms of their maintenance, whether it's as simple as a battery running out, we won't be able to get to the road and perform the necessary things that we need to do to ensure that we're servicing and continuously providing uninterrupted electrical and water services. So it is very critical for us in our business. Right now, we're exploring so many different flavors of fleet, from hybrids to bucket trucks, and we're also exploring how to be better green in terms of our fuel usage. Since 2006, over 350,000 gallons of B20 have been purchased, which essentially reduces our carbon footprint of about 50 metric tons. So we are being conscientious enough in terms of that arena as well, and balancing that act in terms of operational effectiveness. The use of electric and alternative fuel is high on our list, and that is also enabling us to be more resourceful in terms of balancing the carbon footprint, not only for providing operational effectiveness in OUC, but also providing environmental stewardships for our operation. But due to all these new things, the new hybrid, the new source of energy, the ability to be creative, and ability to balance environmental friendliness, as well as operational efficiencies, our fleet operation is becoming a complex nature in itself. So as we move ahead, you need to be well positioned. So we've implemented several initiatives to kind of go with the flow of these efficiencies. So we have what we call an EJ fuel management system, which I will show you in the next slide. It's pretty cool. We've hosted an EAM summit 2 years ago, and we've kind of showcased that as one of the field trip available for the attendees, and it was very well received. We've implemented equipment cost analysis, PM forecasting, advanced categorization, more to the ease of searching and providing information effectively and efficiently, and we implemented both condition as well as time-based preventative maintenance. This is a snapshot and a picture of how we manage our fleet through EJ Ward. You would see here a typical vehicle. We will install right at the gas chamber what we call an O-ring that has transmission that transmits through our pump. and then it progressively transmits through our Skycom, which transmits directly to our servers, which uploads to our enterprise resource and capital asset management system. So this provides us an ability to have a hands-free capturing of the gallons that is being utilized, when it's going to trigger preventative maintenance, what type of demographics that the vehicle has, and it also streamlines a lot of the process. As soon as the vehicle pulls in, the system already knows that this is a gas versus a diesel. It already knows that it has pumped 20 gallons of gas over the last minute. Why is it pumping it again? So it prevents theft in terms of gallon usage, and it will also know almost everything about the model, the type, give us a clarity of and funnels that through the whole system as well. While EJ Ward allows us a lot of flexibility in terms of our fuel-based fleet, though we are all still exploring new ways for us to be able to handle this. We are still entering manual run hours on electric vehicles. We're setting up electric vehicles on standard time beams PM. We're using PM forecasting to better schedule equipment maintenance, and we're setting up equipment cost analysis to track full actual cost to provide more visibility, for our fleet, particularly targeting, the demographics of our hybrid versus our fuel vehicles. As a continuation, I'll let Fred fill you in a lot more about our power plants and how we're using EAM on that area as well.